My name's Tommy. I'm currently traveling the country, living a more nomadic lifestyle. And, recently I just made it to California. I'm staying right on the Colorado River. One of the things I wanted to do was kind of go over where I've been, what I've done. The whole trek over here was about 4,500 miles, and it was about 3 weeks I took doing all of this. So Ohio was one of the first places on my trek from New England that really seemed um, a little bit different. It still was obviously the same, but that's where things started to go from, mountainy terrain to completely flat. And there were still trees, there's still everything around. I think one of the things, growing up in New England is there's trees everywhere. We have so many pine trees and so much of, there's not any fields, you know, like even going from Maine to Vermont, um, no fields in Maine. Vermont at least has some open spaces. And, obviously I'm talking generally, but, anyways, you know, going to Ohio was the first time I felt like things were, you know, pretty flat. From there, I went down through, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri. We stayed on the Missouri River, right by Lewis and Clark. The historic monument forum. There was this massive tree that was also a historic thing. I can't remember what it was, but I think I got a video about it somewhere. Hopefully, I do. Um, but yeah, just a really cool time, and you know, I learned a lot about the Missouri River and how much history there is to it. Um, which was awesome too. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm big on history, um, and so that really like tickled my fancy. I think that's what I was going for. But yeah, from Missouri, now I kind of want to segue into Oklahoma. I stayed in Oklahoma for almost 2 weeks. It was just so gorgeous, and it truly was, you know, different. It was very different from New England, Maine, anywhere like that. Um, it was just a really good time. So, going through Oklahoma, I stayed on was it the Great Salt Plains Lake, I believe. And if I messed that up, I'll fix it. But yeah, it was beautiful to be hiking through the woods and, you know, this next second, be in a mesa or a small version of one. Um, but it was breathtaking. Right on the lake, there's a small river that comes off the side, and that's kind of where I was. And there were so many differences in Oklahoma, like wild armadillos. We don't have anything like that in Maine, but armadillos, uh, pelicans. That I don't think I've ever seen a pelican in my life, so that was really cool. And yeah, there was just a lot of unique things. The oil rigs were just so foreign to me. Like I don't usually see that in Maine. I don't think I ever have or I ever will in Maine. So it just again, just the sheer number of differences was astounding in Oklahoma, and to note that that's kind of just where the differences started. Um, I ended up going kayaking on the lake, and it was just absolutely stunning. The lake was it has a lot of salt in it, so my kayak was sitting on top of the water rather than like being a little more submerged in the water. So it was just to die for, to die for. It made it harder to paddle in some ways, I think, but that could just be me. um, anyways, I did a couple hikes. I think I hiked about 4 or 5 miles total um, in my time there. And another cool thing about the lake, though, the lake actually has crystals, salt crystals that grow in the plains out to the side of it. So, where the salt kind of just congeals and turns into a crystal. And I've got some salt crystals from the lake that are just so cool, so foreign, so like interesting. Um, yeah, it just such a fun time. I didn't get to go mining for the crystals. However, I did find some. The mining sites were all like closed down for the season, where I think it was start of November, maybe still in October at the time too. But yeah, it was amazing. The crystals are so cool, and I was really happy to be there and just soaking it all up. I mean, it's the first place I got to see that had like red dirt and more of like the mesas had they kind of like the layers of rock. Just to see that in the riverbanks and stuff is just so cool. Um, so yeah, I had a really good time. It was to die for. So I definitely have to recommend Oklahoma to anyone who, you know, for me it was a bit of like a solitude journey. It felt very the power in just being by yourself out there, hearing the coyotes howl at the full moon at night, the armadillos just coming up to you in the trail going, oh hey, what's this guy doing over here? It was just so cool, and to have all of that happen, uh, just such a gift, truly amazing. And I've posted some things on my shorts to just kind of go like, just get something on there. Like, my goal is not so much to create content, but to create a record of the fun stuff and the cool stuff I'm doing. So shorts is kind of like my way to just get something out there, get the landscape. That's what I always like, is the landscape. So to get that out there, and hopefully other people enjoy that as much as I enjoy it too. So yeah, there's more with that to come. More to talk about with, I think the next episode I'll do will be New Mexico, and potentially joined with Arizona and the rest of my journey out here to California. Everyone tuning in, thank you so much. I hope you're having a good day, and stay traveling. All right, we'll talk soon.